as a professional engineer in my community, I can see, the impact that the profession has on local communities, and it's nice to have local engineers work on local projects.
Now, do you think that any of these programs that these students have worked on, the thought went through your mind that, wow, maybe this town or that village or this city should be putting this into effect? I mean, this is something that an idea that these kids came up with that maybe some grown-up people don't even think of.
And I find a lot of people that have participated in this program are saying exactly that. If I had to come up with a solution, that's what I would have done, and that's what they came up with. And it's amazing how they can think it through. With a little bit of guidance, they can think it through and actually come up with a good solution.
And these are students that are, what, like 14, 15 years old?
Yeah, 7th and 8th grade students. They're not even in high school yet.
Wow.
And they're able to think, they're able to be problem solvers.
Right.
And many of the problems that we have today in society, we try, like water conservation. That's one thing that's a theme that we put out there, and they were able to come up with some great solutions, and some of them are really make sense.
Do you find that the students of today, since you've been working on this project for how many years now?
5 years.
5 years, okay.
Yeah.
Do you find that the students of today are very, very much into saving the environment, are very concerned about what is going on in our world as far as recyclables, as far as using recyclable materials, as far as being careful of the water,
Yes,
use of water?
I really think it's a theme. Everybody's pushing towards green development. I know in my field we have what's called LEED certification, leadership in engineering and environmental design, and it's kind of the next step towards green development. There's a big push for that in the community. And my daughter goes to Jefferson, and she came back, and they had taught a little bit about recycling, and she came back and she was so excited to tell me all about it. So I think students that are in school now and students that will be in school will know a lot more about it than we did when we were going through.
Because with us, I mean, we throw paper away, we throw it in the garbage. I mean, that's another situation with garbage and everything. We really don't think. But these kids are being brought up to think, to conserve energy, to be aware of the water situation, to be aware of pollution in the air, and to be aware of all these different things that have really kind of like taken our earth down,
Exactly. There's I think in every field there's a push for more greener development, and I just went through and got my LEED certification for my field, because a lot of companies won't hire you unless you have that certification now, because they want to push the green development. They want to have green
So
development.
what is LEED certification?
It's a certification for green building design, green site design.
All right. So that is the big thing. Like, for instance, a new building that they're building for a Golub Corporation.
That will be LEED.
Green.
That will actually be LEED certified.
Really?
The certification.
Okay.
It's a.
Which means, like, explain that.
It's a group. U.S. Green Building Council has come up with a certification system as to how green your development is, and there's certain ratings, silver, gold, and the more of these best practices that you incorporate into your design, the more points you get towards that certification. And I'll give you an example. Like parking lots used to be just paved, giant areas of asphalt. Now they're looking to make it a little more greener, find different ways to park these cars, maybe find ways to park less cars, provide alternate transportation. All those are worth points on a LEED rating system. And when you design with that in mind, the more points you get and the higher level of certification you can achieve.
Wow, so even in engineering, you can be an engineer, but you don't know everything unless you keep going on to school and get these certification for all these new programs that are coming out.
And what it does is it's good for the environment, and it actually extends the life of your building, and overall, it as far as efficiency goes, it really pays off in the long run.
Right. So but it's expensive to begin with.
To begin with, it costs a little more, but operating costs down the line will.
Well, I got to tell you, that sounds like a wonderful program. That there again, you're a volunteer doing it as a volunteer, and I think that's great. It says a lot for you, and it says a lot for the schools and the companies that you people are working for, because a lot of the engineering companies are involved in this program. So good luck.
Thank you.
When is the competition?
It'll be in January. The dates have not been finalized,
Okay.
but I'm going to give out the website. Any school that wants to participate, www.futurecity.org.
Okay.
So futurecity, all one word, .org. And once you get on there, you can, they'll tell you how to register, people to contact, request information. Everything is web-based on this, and there'll be phone numbers if you do need to talk to somebody. But in September is when it gets started. So I encourage schools to participate. They'll even, if you are interested in participating and you don't have an engineer to work with you, they will find one for you.
Right, right.
You have to have a sponsoring
is
teacher.
wonderful.
Yeah,
Okay.
they'll really help you out and keep. We start off with 5 schools, and we're up to 22 schools now, just regionally. And I think this year it'll be more. I know there's a couple schools in the area that are thinking about participating, and in other other communities, the same thing is going on. It's really growing, and it's if you haven't been there in January, it's something to see.
Well, you know what? In January, we can come back and maybe we can bring a couple of your students who have been
that
involved
would
in
be
the
great.
program, and they can talk about what this program has done for them, and we can encourage people to go to Hudson Valley Community College, buy their ticket, and go see what the youth of today, what they're really working on and what they're doing.
That would be great.
So,
I'd love
Angelo,
to.
that's great. Great. I'm
you.
glad you mentioned this to me, and I'm glad we decided to make the community aware of the wonderful things that are going on with the youth of today, that they're really out there and they're working very hard to become future engineers of America.